Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Rick and Morty season 7, episode 5. So far, this season is truly pleasing me. I have the emotion that the writers, are giving us all of the things, that we can expect and that we can want when we are watching Rick and Morty. I mean by that the first episode, it was about Rick with all of his friends, with all of these references, to the previous seasons, and it was so great. The second episode, it was about Rick and Jerry, their relationship, and it was so cool. It was really going so wild, and it was really absurd at the end. I mean, for Rick and Morty, a lot of things are absurd, but really they went far with it. With the third episode, we had his therapist, during the entire episode to talk about the relationship between Rick and Infinity, and to have the conclusion that Rick evolved, Rick changed, and yes, it's sad, for his relationship with Infinity, the fact that they can't be together. And yes, he changed, he can't be with her anymore, and no matter what, their relationship was toxic, so coming from that, you can't really change it. Fourth episode, it was about exploring big subjects, it was about talking, denouncing, with what you eat, and the fact that when you know what you truly eat, in fact, are you okay with it? It was clearly a discussion about meat, eating meat or not. And really see this for first episode, it's really things that we want into Rick and Morty. To have something absurd, like with Jerry, to have references and characters that we love from the other seasons, to have something a little deeper with the therapist episode, to have also Rick and Morty, these writers denouncing stuff and talking about big subjects into one episode. Like, truly, I appreciate the beginning of this season a lot. For me, each episode, I feel the mood of the show, the DNA of the show into each episode, but these 4 episodes together, for me, they are representing well what the show is about. So it's cool, it's really cool. I don't know what this episode is going to be about, but it's truly, it's cool to have that feeling that, yes, I'm watching Rick and Morty, that's what I want to have into Rick and Morty, and I have it, I'm not disappointed at all, I'm not sad at all and all. I'm saying that also because we know the background behind this season, for the writers, all of that. So we know what fear, maybe some of us had or not. It was not my case, I was not afraid or I was not worried for the show, how it would be and all, because no matter what, it's a room of writers that we had for the previous seasons. It was not one single guy or 2 single guys. It's a room of writers, it's a DNA of the show. It's already, written before, and if you know what Rick and Morty are about, you know also what you need to put into your show next. But the second part of the season, maybe not this episode, but the second part of the season, they need to do more than that, that's it. With these 4 first episodes, we know that you're gonna give us Rick and Morty, it's really the same DNA, the same mood, the same things, it's cool. But this show is great also because we have characters who are evolving really little by little, but still who are evolving. We have also big narrative arcs no matter what to continue, even if it's mixed with a lot of little stories and all, we have still big narrative arcs, the main one being Rick trying to find the other Rick for all of his story with his wife and all. And that's something big that we need to continue to have, and we need to have Rick continuing to evolve and maybe also the other characters. So I'm more expecting that for the second half of this season, maybe not this particular episode, but see that's the expectations that I had for the season, the first part and the second part. I thought about it, you know, how they could build that season, and so far it's really what I thought, you know, what I wanted, so it's cool, it's really cool. The previous episode, yes, was denouncing big subjects, and that was cool, and you know, it was denouncing it, but at the same time it was more about asking the questions to the viewers. You know, it was not responding to it, because in fact all of the characters had a different answer. But it was really about, do you want to know what you truly eat? Are you okay to know what you truly eat? That it's about killing animals for us, you know? Right there it was about killing people, you know, eating people who are dead. If it's ethical, you know, does it mean that it's more okay? It's still, you know, people who died. And you know what is truly ethical or not, and a lot of things, you know, around that, which were interesting as subjects. A little thing also about euthanasia, that was cool, you know, to put it right there. It was really little, but we had it. And also a little thing about industries and their ads and what they are doing, you know, also to society, the fact that little by little, right there during the previous episode, it was really in 1 second, but little by little they are also destroying the moral compass of people, because people are acting blind about stuff or just going for it entirely. So yes, it was a cool episode, the previous one, I loved it, and it was a cool beginning of the season. So now let's go, let's discover this episode 5 with you guys. Remember that if you want, on my Patreon you have these reaction videos 1 day earlier, and you have them with an extended reaction part or a full one. I put full one for the big episodes, and I can't know in advance if it's gonna be a big episode or not, so check the description to know what I decided to put. Or normally I'm telling you that at the beginning or at the end of the review of this video. And if I'm not posting the full reaction part, I'm putting the extended reaction part, which is already interesting because I'm not forced to cut that much, to play with opacity and stuff, that I'm forced to do it for YouTube. If I'm putting the extended reaction part on my Patreon, you have really the longer version of the reaction video, like I'm really letting the scene, I'm not forced to play with opacity, and you have minutes, you know, in addition. For Rick and Morty, it's like 6 minutes longer, mostly. It's really a lot. If you guys, you can be interested by these advantages and also to support me, to encourage me to continue my channel, these videos and all, it can be truly appreciated and truly useful, even if it's just for the time of 1 month or the time of the show, you know. It can be great and appreciated. I'm a little reactor on YouTube and on Patreon, so each help, you know, each support is welcome. Let's go for this episode!
Doing this anymore. Either you're in or you're out, Morty. I'm tired of you weaponizing this half-assed threat. You know what?
You don't want that.
Sorry to be such a high maintenance, Morty.
Me? For sure you're planning something.
It's you and me, Morty. Rick and Morty forever. Yeah, pal. Rick and Morty. 100 years. Forever. Me. What are you doing? An eye patch. You know how we feel about pirates.
That's the original story behind Evil Morty? Are you fucking kidding me? I was not ready for that. We remember that moment, that we saw it? That's what you did, we know it? To have your entire story? Can you truly do that? Like an episode about Evil Morty?
Just another day in paradise. Motherfucker! Stealthiest technique, but if this guy doesn't know I'm hunting.
Okay, oh guys, okay.
Stay outside the sub-basement. Means a lot that your bar for mental health has gotten lower than mine. Good Wednesdays, I know wings, baby. consolidate my decoys, huh? Kind of first thoughts, but the...
And we are talking and we are seeing also all of the decoys of...
What the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck is this episode?
Should I grab the net? Yes! Shouldn't you be?
I'm sorry, I need a break to refocus. So I'm gonna be fully in this episode and I'm not gonna think about they're truly doing that, they're truly doing that. Like since the beginning of this episode, I swear, I just have that question on mind. I need to stop it, you know, so I can just be with the episode, the action, the characters. Oh, really, this season is not joking with giving us what we want, like everything. One episode is about one thing that we have to expect with Rick and Morty. It was only 5 minutes, and
Hitting infinite targets, at least filter for probability stasis. I was gonna, duh.
really?
Should we just shoot it? You really think a douche that smug doesn't keep a force field on? Yeah, listen to Pop Pop, Morty.
Pop, pop,
Well, I'm not gonna back
at least 3 times.
Is that the guy? Probably. You're acting like this one's different. He is different.
Another decoy already?
You think you're better than me? Jesus, I hope so. Can I offer my 2 cents? No! Well, that's different.
Okay, that was not clearly him. I mean, that was not him clearly.
Alright, yes! Everybody look at the bright side. Evil Morty
Which
gets
is?
to experience being wrong before he dies. What is this place? I assume a box to contain ricks that get too close to the big guy. Fresh meat. Pick a lane, buddy. Yeah, you can't do the fresh meat line while cowering.
They weren't really close to him also?
Here we go! You're seeing this, you're me, except, you know, less. Some of you may have noticed that it's not just your Diane that's gone. She's also been erased from every universe across infinity. Might be wondering why. I'd rather hear how.
Boss!
One of you is going to get your Diane back. All you have to do is be the last Rick left.
An Hunger Games between Ricks into a mirror labyrinth. He's mocking you! He seemed like a nice Rick!
I'm nice enough to not lie about this. I was definitely gonna kill you guys.
Okay.
Hey guys, take the shot! I thought you wanted to work together. Just until you can kill him and they call me Evil Morty. And now the big reveal. Do you get Diane back?
No.
I do have a Diane that promises to be with you until death. But I get to the death.
Fake one?
Rick? Hey Diane.
You suck to eat it, pussy!
You made a big Terminator, Diane.
I always thought your dick smelled weird!
Or that.
I'm glad that you didn't go through with that. And that it's not torturing you, right?
Holy shit. So that's the guy? You're exhausted. You can't come. Evil Morty, stay out of my way. Gonna kill my nemesis. Break out.
All by yourself without any Morty? You need a Morty.
What happens if Rick actually kills this guy? You ever think about that? Maybe he'll kill himself next? You're an asshole. Yeah,
No.
I'm not.
Why he would kill himself next?
I don't care.
Go.
Oh. Shit. Gotta be honest, I totally thought you were coming.
It was just a question of timing. It was not really him, like we could have expected that. It's really Rick Prime right now, it's not a decoy.
This one hurts me too.
And you're sad a little to do it, Rick Prime.
The worst possible time to use his powers. Just make the death happen slower.
Is it really him? Even Morty, you're helping a lot! Well, the music is a little inspired by Star Wars right there. Which one? Morty, you're making a good job still helping, you know, like... Oh, come on! Are we sure? Ah.
Original grandson. Oh, jeez. Nice to meet you, I guess. Should I just get this over with, or... Shitty, Grandpa. Oh, well, why am I wearing an eye patch? Did we switch shirts? Yeah. Thanks for the assist.
Yes? You... Since when?
Rick? Alright, you two punks stay here. Oh. Okay, I think I'm getting the picture. Frying my backups. Smart. So you're like an evil Morty, a clever one. Ow!
Only Evil Morty can really catch and stop maybe Rick Prime.
What are you gonna cheese me to death? Oh, you don't want those schematics, buddy.
You erased all of his backups? You downloaded him inside of you?
What? Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. Knock yourself out. Listen, Rick to Rick. He's got the weapon plans. Buddy, nip this in the bud. Let's do this then. I made you. I showed you in
It's really happening, Rick!
What's your life without me?
It's a real question, you know. What is he gonna do without that mission in his life?
You live in my house! What are you doing?
I'm not sure what the writers are doing with this episode. You're finishing with Prime, like really?
Great visual. You're missing it. We don't have to talk. This didn't make us friends. There's our guy. Frank, is it over? Is he? How's it feel?
You can never come back?
No, exactly the same. Yeah, it always does. Fuck off. I'm gonna. Just don't force me to improve on the design. A little different though, Rick. Maybe I can use that someday. Seriously though, fuck you.
Thanks for your help and bye-bye.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure I am. Did you really have your revenge, the revenge that you wanted that much? And what are you gonna do now? That's a real question. He doesn't look shocked for me, he looks empty. But he's with his family and we can see that he's trying to make a joke, but you can see that he's only trying to be there. Really? It was the end of Rick Prime? Oh. Are you gonna be the music and all? You're the next Rick? Searching for answers and a revenge? No. You found someone now. Someone could have just warned me, you know, about the fact that I would need a tissue today. I know it would have been a spoilers and I hate spoilers and I would have blocked you from my channel for it, but still, I was clearly not prepared for this episode. For sure, I'm gonna put the full reaction part for this episode on my Patreon. Like, really, I'm gonna put everything. Why? Like, really, during the first 5 minutes of this episode, I couldn't believe that we really watched all of the background, you know, of Evil Morty, that we saw all of his life, and that we were there also with him in the present time, and that he was truly, you know, meeting with our guys again. Like, really, I had to make a break because I was like, they're really gonna do that? They're really gonna make Evil Morty come back and they're really gonna give us the answers, you know, about Evil Morty background just like that? so easily, into the first scene, truly, of this episode. So, after that, the fact that they were searching for Rick Prime during a majority of the episode, I was like, okay, but they're never gonna find him, it's not possible. It's already an episode about Evil Morty with responses about Evil Morty, and we are spending the entire episode with Evil Morty. We're not gonna have Rick Prime, in addition of all of that. So all of the thing, with the Hunger Games between Ricks, I was like, okay, that's the story of this episode. But in fact, they found Rick Prime, even during that moment when they were looking for him, Rick found really his place. I was like, no, it can't be possible, it's a decoy. During all of the fight against Rick Prime and all of the Rick Primes, I was like, that's it. In fact, it's not really there, it's only fake Rick Primes, like, it can't be there. But when Evil Morty, he made us understood that he switched with Morty before, and that truly right there, like, in the fact that it's Evil Morty, we're seeing that it's truly Rick Prime, which is making me think that it was truly Rick Prime. Like, if Rick would have found and killed Rick Prime all by himself, I would have been like, maybe it was a trap, it was not really him. But the fact that Evil Morty was there and confirmed it and found, all of these backups of Rick Prime, erased all of them, let Rick confronting Rick Prime, fighting him to death so he can be sure that Rick Prime is never gonna come back. Now, I truly believe that it was truly Rick Prime. But it means that we're never gonna have some answers, like the ones that they mentioned right there. How and why you killed all of this Diana. Like, okay, during this discussion, fight with Rick, you said little things, but it's not enough, and it's truly the end of Rick Prime. It's truly the end of Rick Prime. Like, really for me, I would be in denial, and I would have big doubts and all about the fact that we really killed Rick Prime if Evil Morty wasn't there. To bring back Evil Morty for this moment, to be a big part into it, I think that it's truly an amazing idea, because without him, without his presence and him confirming that it's Rick Prime, I would have continued to have doubts, to be in denial. Right there, I truly believe that it was Rick Prime, and that truly Rick killed Rick Prime by fighting him to death. And it's breaking my heart in a weird way, because Rick wanted this revenge since so long. He had it, but we know, at least I know, that revenge is never gonna bring you peace. Revenge is never gonna be fully satisfying, because it's not gonna bring back your wife, and it's not gonna repair the fault which was committed. It was such a powerful stuff for you to continue to live during so long, that now that you don't have it, you're empty, Rick. You're empty. That's what we're seeing at the end, during the musical moment. He's there without being there, he's not present, he's not shocked, he's really just empty. He's seeing his family, having fun, continuing their lives. But how can he continue his life when what motivated him during all of this time to stay alive, it was that, and that's it, he had it. We can see at the end that he's making a joke, and we can be like, he's trying to be present, but we can see also just after that he's losing his smile, because for now, he's just gonna be trying to be there, to be present, to stay alive, to be with his family. Like, it's breaking my heart for Rick, because I could be really glad and all cheering, that's it, yeah, Rick, yes, you had your revenge, it's so great, woo, that's so cool. And also, we at the end of this narrative arc, it's so cool, like, it's amazing, it's big. I could be like that. But I know that this revenge, you had it and now what, Rick? You're not satisfied by it, your wife is not gonna come back. You had it and it was only anger, violence, and it says a lot about you also this moment. And you know it's not really a good moment for you, in fact, just a moment of hate, of violence, a bad moment, you know. And now what with your life? Yes, I'm shocked that the writers, you know, that's it, they did it. And you know, episode 5 of this season, like, it's not like it's the ultimate episode of the season. We are finishing stuff with a big thing and all. But it's okay for me again because they really put Evil Morty and Rick Prime into the same episode. And with some answers with Evil Morty. And again, I think that bringing Evil Morty for the end of Rick Prime, it's an amazing idea. The really good one, the one that I needed. The second part of the season, it's gonna be about Rick responding to that question. And now what? With your life? You were already drunk, desperate before, but at least you were making change, you know, into your life. You know, I think that if it would have happened earlier, like 2 seasons ago, if Rick would have killed Rick Prime 2 seasons ago, I think that Rick would have killed himself. What Evil Morty said, you know, the fact that he was afraid of it, I think that it could have happened. But Rick changed, Rick evolved, Rick admitted that he loves his family, he wants to be with them. So that's why right there he didn't do it. Does it mean that he's not thinking about it? I'm not sure, but he's not gonna do it. Can you believe it? It's a big episode! Rick Prime died and we had Evil Morty who helped us and we had answers about him. It's such a big episode. I should be glad, I should cheer, I should be excited. And clearly during the beginning of this episode my mind exploded, you know, with Evil Morty and all, and it was so cool. And really I think that this episode is a cool one, is well written, is big, is wow, a lot of things, and that's why you're gonna have the full reaction part for it. But I'm finishing it being sad for Rick. I said during the intro that the 4 first episodes truly represent what Rick and Morty this show is about. To have an episode with Rick and his friends and with all of these references to previous episodes and a lot of things, it was so cool. The episode with Jerry was a full absurd episode and it was so cool. The 3rd episode with his therapist, with Infinity, we went deeper with Rick and it was so cool. The episode 4, it was about talking about big subjects and it was so cool. These 4 first episodes are representing, you know, what Rick and Morty are about. And I was saying, now you need also to talk about the big narrative arcs like Rick Prime and also to make changes, you know, for Rick. That's also what Rick and Morty, this show is about. Oh, for the big narrative arc, they did it during this episode. Not only they touched to it, but they concluded this one, this big one. I'm a little lost also, like, what are you gonna do now for the second part? For sure, we're gonna stay with Rick and to see how he's taking this situation. But for big narrative arcs like the one that we had since seasons about Rick Prime, now what? In a way, it's also the writer saying, like, let's move on. Let's finish that story, that narrative arc, let's move on. We have other stuff prepared for you. And I'm really like, what? What? I think that I'm gonna need time to realize how big this episode was. Okay, I'm gonna stop this review right there. Tell me, please tell me what did you think of it? Because I'm still processing this episode, so I need your opinion on it. Okay, it's all for me and for you for this big episode, and it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye. Yeah. Oh, I was clearly not ready for an episode like that.
Wait a minute, Doc.
Are you telling me you built a time machine? Great.
Next one, next